I found him actually in a box when I was traveling to Malaysia. I just thought maybe he's just somebody's cat, and I didn't think too much of it, so I didn't observe the wounds that was on his body until the next day. I saw him again in the box, except for people were tossing litter in that box already, and he was sucking on like a really dirty towel. He was basically starving, and when I picked him up, I found him to be really hungry, dehydrated, and he had this giant wound that is in the middle of his stomach. It looks like a dog probably like chewed on him and tore him open, and half of his tail was basically dead already. So I kind of figured, okay, I have to do something, because even if the mom came back, there's nothing she can do, let alone if she's ever gonna come back. When I took him to the vet, I basically got laughed at, because they were saying that with street cats like that in Malaysia, it's a dime a dozen. There's no point of spending so much money to try to cure him or heal him, not knowing that if he's gonna survive, because the wounds were pretty bad and there were maggots crawling out of his body. So as you can probably imagine, he had to fight a very tough battle while half of his tail got snipped off. So you can imagine the vet bills are very expensive, and they're like, you know what, why not just euthanize him, and you can probably use that money and you can buy like some other cats. It didn't sound right and it didn't sit right with me, so I decided, you know what, if people aren't willing to do this, I'm gonna do it. I flew to Malaysia 17 times in 3 months before I was able to even think about bringing him back. I would do a gig here in Hong Kong, and then I would fly back immediately and take care of him for as long as I can until my next gig. And then I would do that and then rinse and repeat. 3 months, 17 times. I was at the vet and he was wrapped up in one of those hospital liners just to keep him clean, and he was wrapped up like a burrito, so everyone kind of voted and called him Burrito. So when I got back home, the first reaction with him and my cats is basically him punching my cats and him snarling at them. My cats were quite welcoming. He was just like a boss. He was surveilling the house as if it's its own, and that's a habit that he had since he was in Malaysia. He has a girlfriend. Okay, this is Strawberry, and that's Burrito's girlfriend. Not sure if they're husbands and wives right now, but they're definitely a bonded couple. The first time he saw her, for her, absolutely love at first sight. Burrito, not so much. It's nothing but spitting, snarling, and lots of hissing. He didn't like her one bit, but she loved him to bits. A local rescuer found her and dropped her off at my house smelling like rat poop. And she's got multiple bites and injuries from fighting rats in a local dump site. The reason why we named her Strawberry was because she was hanging around some of the strawberry stems that people toss out, but she's quite feisty. She became a permanent resident of my house ever since. Adopt, don't shop is a definite yes. Another slogan that I've heard is also very true. It says, to you, they are just a pet, but to them, you are their whole world. And I think if we're cognizant of that, it would change a lot of the decisions that we make. A little bit of sympathy and just understanding goes a long way, because animals can't talk for themselves and their family, right?